Acceptance can help shift the energy that resistance can make feel stuck and dormant in your body. Majority of the times when I'm going through a phase where energy is stuck in my body, my friend Nisarg always tells me, go for a walk, you should go for a walk. Like, Nisarg says this to me, Vision says this to me. A couple of my friends, they always tell me to go for a walk, or as Revati would say, do some yoga. And when you're going through a difficult time, when you're going through a really emotionally bogging time, it can feel like you don't have the energy to do these things. And I live life in waves, because I think life happens in waves. There's no like linear trajectory for life, and you can feel that. But what is really happening when you're not being able to exercise or move or feel that movement in your body is that you don't have acceptance of certain things. This could be temporary short-term blocks of resistance, right, where you're resisting some short-term things that would have happened, or some short-term impacts of situations or circumstances, or this could be a long-term block that you've been holding. Chances are there'll be both of it. So short-term situations and events will make you feel like there is a resistance that you're feeling because you want to fight or flight or protect yourself, or you just want things to be in a certain way, the way you expect them to be. You want someone to behave in a certain way that you expect him to be. You want your career to go in a certain way that you have expected. So when we have all those expectations, which is not wrong, because expectations mean that you care about something deeply, that you really want to work towards making something happen. But when it starts becoming a resistance, then it can become a block in your body. That energy can get dormant, it can get stuck in your body, and it's both going hand in hand. So it's very important to keep in mind that it's not just the physical movement that will cause the psychological shift, but a psychological shift will also cause a physical movement shift. I feel that when you are in a position where you feel that your energy is stuck, try to look at like what is a short-term thing that caused it, because there will always be some kind of a trigger, right? What we call trigger. And that situation might be a trigger for you. It might be nothing for someone else, and that's completely okay. You are an individual human being. What triggers you, and what does not trigger you does not trigger you. But your short-term trigger is trying to tell you something about a long-term block. I recently had a couple of weeks of absolute cascading mess that I was, and I'm so grateful to have a couple of friends and to have my partner who has seen me go through these kind of phases. But when I went through that phase, what I realized is that I was resisting short-term changes, a lot of like rapid changes that had come in my life through my physical injury, through work, through the relationship, through family, through everything, and through my physiological changes as well. I think like all of that I was resisting to accept, but what I was truly resisting to accept was my true self, who I truly am. My light, my shadow, my fears, my the emotions that make you feel fear, anger, anxiety, anything, any thoughts that invoke that kind of emotions, which feel like fear, which feel like anxiety, which feel like overwhelming, which feel like you're just drowning. I was resisting to accept that. I was resisting to accept my anger. So there's a healthy anger that I have in me, which by that I mean that it tells me that I don't want to settle. I don't want to accept whatever life is throwing at me and say, this is it, this is my life. It's like there's this fire, there's this spark that tells me that you want to do more, that you want to get better, right? So when I say you want to do more, it's not about just your physical achievements. It's actually about like, what is your impact on the people in your life? First of all, your close circle, and then the people outside of your close circle. And when I have that drive, sometimes I also have an anger when I feel that there is a lot of judgment or a lot of criticism that comes in. Those lack of acceptance of self, we try to go outside and find in someone else, in a friend, in a partner, in a husband, in a wife, in our mother, in a father. We will always go outside and try to find it instead of going inside and trying to take it in. Just like take it in, sit with it, ask it questions. What's happening? What are you thinking? And when you're able to build that kind of a relationship with your inner world, with your inner self, then you're able to go out into the world and actually project what your true potential and true energy is. And potential is not just about career success or the biggest house that you can get or the best car that you can get. Actually, all of those are abstract things. Even though a house will feel like you own something, with it also comes a lot of liabilities. Even though it feels like you have the most expensive car, with it comes a lot of expenses on the upkeep. And the more expensive the car, chances are, like, the lesser the mileage. But anyway, my point is, physical things are not going to give you that kind of satisfaction and fulfillment when you, like, your potential is so much more than these things. Your potential is actually you living a life filled with joy and optimism and thoughtfulness and consciousness. You live a life where you are building meaningful connections and that you have a good health, you are able to wake up, you have comfort. That is what your potential is. That is what we should be doing. Your ability to understand your elders, the older generation, the generations that passed by, your ability to understand the younger generation in the world that they are coming in, and to be able to connect with them, to connect with every person of different age groups where they are at in their journey, and understand that there is a common humanity in all of us. There is something that is so common, which is our humanity, which we should each be able to connect with. That is your potential. So when you have resistance in your body, first of all, learn to listen to your body. Your body will always tell you when it's resisting something. And secondly, obviously, always know that there is something short term that is happening, which is trying to make you aware of something long term that you've been holding as a block. And as you will release these blocks, basically, as you will find acceptance more and more and more of who you are without the need of validation for anybody else outside of you to understand, even your own mother, even your own partner, they cannot, like, nobody outside of you can understand who you are. As you will find that acceptance of yourself in your inner world inside, you will see what they say, right? The world will adjust around you. That adjustment will start happening. You will see the right kind of connections, the right kind of energy, the right kind of serendipity and synchronity flowing in your life. And this requires a lot of hard work. This will require therapy. This will require coaching. This will require journaling. This will require self-reflection. This will require sitting alone. This will require vulnerability. This will require crying. This will require being a thoroughly open and fully human. So don't run away from it. Find acceptance, and it will remove all the resistance blocks that you have in your body, and your chakras will clear. It is a real concept. Like, this is true. It's not just a concept, it's a real thing. Your chakras will clear. Whatever movement makes your chakras clear, go for it. I usually like walking, which I've not been doing lately so much since the injury, yoga, Pilates, and I also like going for Reiki. So you should check it out. And, well, I hope this is a good thing to start your week with and your week goes well. Take care.